punch us in, Justin.
Okay, and we are now officially live. You can go whenever.
All right, yes, we're live now. Hello and welcome to I Love Gaming. It's 8, we're a little late, it's Monday. Don't sue me. It's time for Dungeons and Dragons. You miss an episode or just want to see us again, we do upload these streams to YouTube under the Isle of Gaming banner. Just look for the line art D20 with the red one. I know we've been a little inconsistent this week, but we're working to get better on that. We do have a lot of technical difficulties porting things over. It is quite unfortunate. But I'm your Dungeon Master, Cullum Coleman, and today's game has Aaron as Gareth the Warlock, Gwendolyn as Robin the Wizard, and Justin as Rockchild the Bard. Together, they are the knaves of Venzor. God save them. And God nearly did last time on this show.
I would just like to point out that we are all color-coded right now. I've got my green on green. Aaron's got his gray on gray. Justin, you've got red with a red background. And Colum, you got this blue-gray with a black.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It's very fun. Yes, we decided to go full Power Rangers, apparently. Yeah.
I get to be the evil one most of the time.
Just thank God I'm not the white Power Ranger again.
We're not making that
Let's
joke.
not bring that up.
TV. We're not breaking those jokes on TV. Anyway, the knaves finally decided that it would be a good idea to enter into the grand city of Everness.
Yay!
However,
we could get tasks done.
However, upon entering into, I believe it is the foundry district, yes, the industrial heart of all of Venzor, a certain party member named Rockchild was triggered by some statues of kobolds, and that led to some rather roughshod shenanigans that ended with you running into an explosion.
Hey, to be fair, I did save some people, or at least I
Yes.
attempted to.
Yes.
So,
Together,
am I really a Power Ranger?
Together, the knaves did help some members of a Mercatari military factory not die in the blast, and were consequently given a small badge and asked by that factory's foreman to check up on the other factories in the area. I believe 7 in total, as unexplained malfunctions have been steadily escalating across the board. The knaves have a very limited amount of time in which they're legally allowed to be in the city, and we're very hesitant to take on an additional task. However, that it has been left to their goodwill, and in need of some goodwill of their own, the knaves sought out a temple to the Ascendant Nine, toured the various gods, spoke with some priests, and attempted to cure Rockchild of his blackening through the use of a warlock of Malele, the sainted goddess of passion. Various prayers were offered to the ascendant gods Eldris, Carrick, and Shog, as well by members of the Knaves of Venzor. And with that lovely intro, we will drop our music and drop our knaves right back where they left off. So you have left the warlock of Malele, excuse me, of Malele in a relatively shaken state. Rockchild's senses have marginally improved. You are no longer incapable of feeling warmth. So that's a start, but your eye problems remain.
I have a question. How bad is your eyesight? Should we get you a seeing eye dog? Or nope, don't take that as an extension. Take that as a meter to which you can gauge.
You don't understand how his mind works. After 3 years of playing with this man, you still don't understand how his mind works.
I just hope he gets better, and that's my fault. I shouldn't believe in people's ability to progress. Okay, so I didn't offer you a dog. I'm saying, do you need a seeing eye dog, or do you just need like glasses? Let me finish my sentence. I want to know how bad your vision is. I wasn't here when we went over you not being able to see.
Yeah. So
So you're just colorblind.
Yes. Yes, Green Harry Potter. He is in game. What has happened is Rockchild has failed 2 saves against the Blackening, which means that not only does he lack color vision, but the gray scale has begun to blur together. So he has, it's a little bit harder for him to discern things.
Okay.
I'm not going to reveal what this really translates to mechanically until he starts trying to perceive things at range.
Okay. I thought like he had like cataracts or something.
No, it's just the world is slowly turning to an increasingly darker palette.
Okay, so it's not like cataracts or like tunnel vision. Okay, got it.
No, he will not go blind from this. You think.
Cool.
So far.
Perfect.
But if I get the chance for a seeing eye dog,
we are not getting you a seeing eye dog.
Completely.
Well, they got you a horse.
So seeing eye horse, like
horse.
the Twitch chat said, a seeing eye horse.
You can't have my horse.
Oh my god, we're gonna train Diocles to be your
support. We are not. We are not. He is a horse for war and vengeance.
What about a mini mule? Or can I have Edison back?
I am not summoning an elephant from the Feywild for you.
But he was my best friend.
Yes,
well,
go write him a letter.
That was your choice.
He advised me to grow up. He told me to go seek my own path. no, Quentin, he did not tell me to grow up.
When you need to leave and grow up, I don't know if you remember that parting that well.
Rockchild's backstory is more of a hot mess than yours, Robin.
Wow, that is impressive because I made that backstory with optimal trauma. Okay, so his vision is just that bad. Are you okay, Justin?
Yeah, I'm gonna transfer it over to the drums because we're having too much fun.
We are. We're still in the.
You are outside the temple. You said you were going. The knave sort of, said they departed the temple but haven't picked a destination.
Okay.
I just want you guys to know I'm genuinely crying from laughter.
I'm so glad it could make you laugh.
And cry.
And that's going to be a new achievement on our personal achievements board off screen. Make read them and weep, make another player cry.
Yeah. Listen, I do give them achievements. I could go all Joker and just make you die from laughter. I have gotten close twice to killing someone by making them laugh so hard they couldn't breathe. It is a proud achievement. So are we gonna go to the archives? I would assume, since we healed someone up and we're on like a time crunch.
I think that is the goal, no?
Oh no, he's French.
This is a very dark path. I need to be more poetic. Who is not more
poetic? Are we going back to the French moment since the last campaign?
Oui, je n'ai pas le français.
This is because I watched French Mace Windu today. He is so sassy. This is why you're doing this.
This is not, but can you send me that? That sounds amazing.
So if you would like to head to the archives, giving out my lovely little hand guide here for my maps, City of Everness. So you made it to the immigrant quarter. So you will pass back through the foundry into the chancellery, which is going to be probably another gate.
Okay.
And from there, you will probably head to the archives. You'll have to do some explaining of yourselves, but you do have that letter from a premier.
Exactly.
Opens a lot of doors. So as you head back towards the Foundry District, you can see now that the smoke from the factory that was destroyed earlier has gone from the dark smoke. It's changed color from being smoke for something actively burning to just be smoke from something just rising from the heat. It has, the fires of the explosion have been put out. You presume that crisis, which you left in fairly competent hands, has been at least, immediately resolved.
What time is it in the day?
It is probably from the walking. You came in at the start of the day.
Mhm.
So you are probably with the walking and the hauling. I'd say it's probably noontide or a little after. I'm gonna give it a 1 o'clock.
Cool. All right. I just want to make sure that we don't get to the archives and then it's closed, because
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Mine closes at 4.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Wait, do you work at our old place or do you work at a different? Yay! Colin,
Everyone
you have
works-
to join the team
Everyone
now.
works. I live like 2.5 hours away from the archives. I'm not gonna join Team Archive.
You could just go to the one that's close to you. It's still in the same perspective. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So as you
Head to the archives.
Yeah. As you head to the archives, your trip through the winding streets of the city is largely uneventful. You are stopped almost as soon as you turn by a porticus with a well-dressed attendant next to it.
Ooh.
Not a
Our
guard. There is
stream
no
scout.
armor on this man.
Easily stabbable. Got it.
Our stream scout.
Overconfidence.
Yeah.
Well,
Here we go. It's back.
Yep, I'm
Yep.
lagging really bad if you couldn't tell.
Uh-oh.
I know. It's not a D&D session without technical difficulties.
Technical
I gotta love it.
difficulties and dragons.
It's the goddamn gremlins, guys.
You have to go deal with them. I told you. It's the gremlins.
I'm not the one who fed them after midnight. All right, it's not my job.
But they look so cute.
Just wait till I figure out how to do Jersey again.
Oh no. Hopefully it doesn't take too long.
Yeah. Are we back in the air, or are we still
no,
flat?
we're good. We should be good.
All right, we're in the air. So the attendant, very well dressed, young man, nondescript human. Like, this is the blandest human being you've ever seen.
Man, we are being catty.
Yeah, I am having a day. Okay.
I love it. I encourage it.
Meow.
And anyway, he is greetings. Please provide your entry work.
All right, I'm gonna go up.
Well,
You okay?
we back, Justin?
Yeah, I think we are, but I'm trying to see. I don't know what's causing it. I don't know what the issue is.
We are indeed back, though.
We are back. All right. Thank you for confirming that. Sorry for the delays and droppings. Once again, technical difficulties and dragons has returned. We really do have to slay that dragon.
We really should take care of those gremlins.
Yeah. Anyway, as you wait to be let in, a rather a very well-to-do individual does approach the gate. He's very well dressed. He's got 2 or 3 people behind him. One is you recognize as a sort of armed individual, as some sort of minor bodyguard. She's kind of oddly dressed for the role. The other 2 are just attendants, but this one catches your eye behind this very portly, rich person. She's got long white hair. She's dressed kind of more like a ranger than any sort of actual guard. The sort of combat ready robes more than actual like plate armor. And what strikes you the most is that when she makes eye contact with you, she seems to just be making eye contact with anything that gets within like 10 feet of the group. Her eyes, despite her otherwise very human appearance, are serpentine. And it just bores into you as they pass. And as they approach the gate, the attendant, without saying a word, just lifts the porticus and lets them through. A little bow and then lowers it again.
Do I notice anything on their person, like a sigil, a brooch maybe, that has, maybe a family crest on it, on them as they pass?
Certainly. Please roll me a perception check.
I can't just use my passive.
I want to roll it because you're trying to see things.
Yeah, how dare
Alright.
you try to see things?
Guys, I packed up my D&D stuff, even though I knew we were gonna have a session tonight.
Oh no, she has to roll on the 20.
Dun,
know.
dun, dun.
So are you sure I can't just use my passive?
I want to see you roll for it. Are you distracted by the boring snake eyes that stare into you, or are you quick enough to glance over them? They are here very briefly.
17.
You want to use your passive instead?
No, I'll use this.
Just trying to trick you there at the last minute. So,
Thank you, Column.
you notice that some sigil. You do notice a sigil. One which I will say is fairly easy to recognize. These are the emblems on all 3. Are the emblem of the Council of 8. No, that's the wrong tab. Sorry. Yes, the Council of 8 is what they are called. That means that these people represent was effectively the ruling oligarchy of Venzor and Everness. They probably don't all sit on the council, but the rather large man, you figure probably does, or is at least close to it, given the sort of he's overweight and dressed really fancily.
I was about to say, are we body shaming him and stereotyping?
Are we going by Roman standards to where, like, the fatter you are, the wealthier? Like, is it that kind of world?
I don't.
It gives the vibe.
Just give the general vibe. If you would like to, assuming you share this information, anyone who would like to can roll a history check to see if they know anything about the Council of 8 or who this might be.
Yeah, sure. I'll relay it.
Yeah. Just to.
I'll do my own history check. I know nothing.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jon Snow.
I got a 7.
Yeah. 5.
I know less than you.
Oh my god! Woohoo! No,
I'll give it a shot.
Yep. Ironically, he rolled better on the dice than you, Gwen.
Yeah, that is sad.
3 plus 5 versus this.
Yeah, I got 9.
Physical dice for the win. All right, with a 9. That is the sigil of the Council of 8. They are very important, and you probably shouldn't mess with them. That's about all you know.
We're so
God.
smart. We're all outsiders.
About
Woo!
about 10 minutes later, an archivist comes to get you.
Where's Torin when you need him?
Oh, while we're waiting, can I just like play with Rune?
Certainly, you can play with your pet bat. The attendant remains completely unfazed by
But he's
anything
such
that
a
happens.
cool bat.
The man does not move. This is like Buckingham Palace rules, apparently.
Oh, damn.
So they don't move
Oh, that's
unless the
just
voice of
disappointing.
Bart Simpson is there.
Ay, caramba.
Which, that's a true story. Nancy Cartwright got the guards to break by doing Bart's voice.
That's hilarious.
So many horrible things.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, in my medieval cowl here, you are. The gate is opened for you, and you see a elderly halfling woman approach. Dressed in simple robes that are very well kept, and she will lead you to the archivist's room. As you pass through the chancellery, there are a number of statues and gardens, and just sort of, this is a very palace-like open feeling in it. Very, Renaissance Italian palace. There's just, fake colonnades and plants. It's very much a testament to living things deep within the city.
Interesting.
You are led through a number of, squares and little plazas, as there is basically a small, sort of Vatican City living in here, dedicated entirely to the governance of Everness and Venzor.
Well, that's foreboding.
Yeah. You are led... shut up, I'm Catholic. Everything's fine.
There's no hidden secrets in the
I'm not one of
papal
you.
archives.
That's not the dig
Well, that's
I was
horrible.
making.
That's my religion.
There's me in the corner. There's me in the spotlight.
Who's got more
losing
dark
my
secrets?
religion.
Us heathens or the papal archives? Let's go.
Shush.
I was just saying that, like,
Ask
the
the
whole
Mormons.
inner city dedicated to the governance of something sounds a little sus. I didn't mean to make it specifically about Catholic people.
There is no war in Vatican City. There is no war.
No. Oh.
And there's also no Mormons in the Vatican City anymore.
Anymore.
Anyway, moving on from that statement with absolutely no context, as you're led to a series of steps sort of tunneling down into the ground, you pass a very large statue that catches your eye. Because unlike most of the other statuary, it doesn't depict one or perhaps even two figures with maybe a surrounding relief. No, this statue is massive. It contains no less than, I believe, than 7 individuals. The inscription below reads, "The Hydra of Syrax."
That is also foreboding.
Out here, if you stop, you can take a closer look at the statuary. It is quite massive and takes up a good chunk of the center of this courtyard. It's almost around it.
Can I stop and ask the archivist, being like, what is this statue about? The Hydra of... I completely forgot what you said.
Syrax.
Syrax. Syrax.
Not the Hydra of Syntax. Got these word crimes.
Don't get me started on that.
Syntax error.
Okay. This Hydra of Syrax. What is this? I'm so curious. It seems so stately and impressive.
So, she says, "Oh, that. long before my time. Back long ago. Most of these statues come from there anyway. Uh, these were the greatest champions in all of the entire isle, gathered together by the late king to tame the land and help reshape it into the haven we live in today. They were far away the greatest warriors and mages of their era, perhaps of all Venzor, some say, but who can really tell? They one day they just all up and died. No one quite knows the full reason, but one day they were there, and the next they just weren't.
What exactly do you mean by taming the land?
Did they fall
I
out of
thought there
basement
was
windows?
nothing before the Ascended Nine came to Venzor.
Aye, there wasn't, but the wilderness is not entirely hospitable to all folk. Farms must be built, granaries, houses, roads. There must always be the matters of public security. Bandits thinking to make a quicker and easier life in the woods. And, there are natural hazards too in the land such as this. Nature itself is not simply an idle force.
You're quite right about that. Nature's not really meant to be tamed, but I don't know why so many of these 7 would have to be warriors if it. Oh God, hold on, I'm losing my accent. So many of these warriors would have to be. So many of these 7 would have to be warriors. Wouldn't most of them be agriculturalists or clerics or things like that? In order to help the people. It just seems quite fascinating to me.
Well, I can't really say too much, but Venzor is a very large isle, as I'm sure you've noted. Several variations in biomes and topography and the people who choose to go out there. But suffice to say, they were all recruited from the top of their field. Take, for example, this one is a personal favorite of mine, Mother Ethel, and she gestures to a satyr who appears to be some sort of druid. She's dressed in gothic attire, tall, slender, with black horns and a crop top. Easily the smallest member, easily the tallest member of the Hydra of Syrax.
She sounds badass.
Yes, she is. She was a moon druid and founded the 4 covens of Calchecked Forest. Her inclusion on the Hydra meant that, well, the forest's answer to Everness and to Syrax. Though there is no more Syrax, as I'm sure you have gathered.
Yes.
Having come this far.
Would you mind telling me about the other ones before we head to the archives?
Certainly. In front of her is Cordian Dacius. He was the first man to ever set foot on Venzor, and for that accomplishment, it was decreed by the gods themselves that the first settlements be named after him, and thus the port of all Venzor is called Dassos. Not an overly remarkable man. He is a human warrior of average height and build. He is holding a sword and shield that look very similar to some the party have. The hilt of his sword is the same as the hilt of Robin's dagger. And the shield, I believe, is currently on Torin at somewhere. But yes, you do have some of his relics. He was a knight and a paladin of of yore, a truly impressive warrior. Besides him is the gnomish wizard Don John Zaman.
Don John.
Yeah, he is the father of chronergy magic on Venzor. He's a male gnome with a classic wizard's beard in a black sort of traditional wizard's crown with the little hat.
Oh no.
With, a cross between the gnome hat and the pointy wizard's hat. He was arguably the most powerful of the mages of the founding of Venzor. Time itself could be reworked by his hand, so major mistakes could be undone, disasters averted.
Wait a second.
This man could rewrite time itself.
Can I look over at Robin and go, "Are you hearing what I'm hearing?"
Yes, I am listening to the nice woman. Be quiet, Frogchild.
My vision.
Yep. Next up, she points to Meekless the Small. It's a diminutive female Kenku crow who is just beaming. She's the only one on there who doesn't have some sort of expression of like austerity, seriousness, or like, the cold stone stare in their demeanor. Mm-hmm. This one is just super cheerful compared to the rest.
Baby.
Very happy. She's beaming beneath a tight green cowl. She was the founder of Ansderth, carved into the mountains. Now the gateway that keeps all the exiled criminals out of our fair lands. She is said to be the great-great-granddaughter of the god Keramikos' niece. On the pedestal, she is a little over 4 feet tall.
So you turned Gwen into a character here.
Ouch.
No, I did not.
I am 5'2", and that is so not my personality.
Yeah. No, I did not. One, it's not her personality. Two,
sorry, nice comment.
Two, Meekless is much taller.
You wanna fight?
I'm several hours away, and I'm pretty sure you can't arrange for a ride right now.
Ho, I can't, but I'm visiting my grandparents soon. I will fight. I will pay for that Uber just to knock your knees out.
Dang, do it.
Oh, you're going for a high jump kick there.
You talking shit, and it's gonna come back to bite you.
Now, is this considered a height-related hate crime?
No. Anyway,
it's not a hate crime if I get rid of the body.
I think they tried that before. I don't know if that works.
Next is a dragonborn paladin who the old woman identifies as Sorin of Fawn, the founder of Andropolis, the great military garrison on the western edge of the Bay of Black. You see a husky ravenite dragonborn, so there's no tail on him, whose body incorporates silver scales onto the ridges and bone structures of a green dragonborn. So he looks like some sort of hybrid between a silver and a green dragonborn. It is said that Sorin chose to forgo his original surname in favor of that of the ship on which he was born during the crossing, as a method of honoring it. Although, and she kind of gives like a very insidious little wink, like dark secret. It was rumored that he was really chosen because he was the illegitimate son of Cyrax.
Oh.
But
that's a nasty rumor.
It's a very.
Robin winks back at her.
It's very. The last two are Tyrell Tunder, a human wizard who founded one of the less reputable of the group. He founded the Order of the Mauta and established the Tower of Turth for its practice in the Tyward Earth. He's a master necromancer. The dead itself were bent to his will. You see a bald, imposing, dark-skinned man in the robes of the Red Wizards of Thay, which is a Lich Kingdom in the Forgotten Realms of Faerun.
Yeah.
Very dark and dangerous.
I've heard some nasty news about that tower and what goes on there.
It is quite unfortunate how his practice has turned, but in his day, the new island brought a great many new ailments. Diseases were rampant, things, we had not seen before, and his power of life and death helps create many cures and medicines used by our clerics today.
Wow, how fascinating.
And finally, we come to the last of them, a strange one. Yeah, you see before you a Githyanki mage. He's a warrior mage. He's lithe, yellow-skinned, with long, dark tendrils for hair. His gaze is somewhat distant. Have you ever seen an Esper, how it just has the 1,000-yard stare like it has seen shit?
Yeah.
Constantly. It's kind of like that in his, sort of very deep sunken face. He was the first man to discover Garen's Well, and in the process, he quite earned his name. No one was more efficient and more brutal in the exploration and taming of this land. It's probably why he was the first to find that old wellspring, though it is, of course, not on the maps and is forbidden to go there, for it is a very dangerous tidal spring.
Now, why is it dangerous? I haven't heard of this well before.
Many people who have tried to go there have died. The tides are not a thing that are very often present here in Venzor. There is, after all, no moon. However, the tunnels regularly flood and recede, and when you're several miles underground, and that suddenly becomes several miles underwater,
I see.
Most people don't come out of that.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is why it is there. It is quite a remarkable geophysical phenomenon, and his ability to cut through the wilderness was greatly needed at a time when, there were no roads. They were bounded together under Cyrax King, and were sent to sort of unify the island and enact his will as, his eyes and ears in the field, a single elite unit, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors, scholars, mages, all of them were they were quite the group, as I am told.
And so the reason they came together was the taming of the island to make it more hospitable for the people to be here. Did it mention anything else? Maybe the history books or anything
like
about
any indigenous populations?
Oh no, dear, nothing lived here before the gods found it in the Great Crossing.
Can I press X for doubt?
Roll an insight check against this woman.
Can I roll insight too?
Sure.
I feel like, because we have found ruins that are older, so
15.
She's not lying.
That was
So
me.
to her knowledge, she is telling us the truth.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
you're 15.
You had the
what did I get?
11.
11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 11 and
I'll-
15.
I'll go for it.
This woman is not lying to you.
I still find
Let's
that
see.
hard to believe that there was nothing here. Maybe she just doesn't know.
Yeah, I got it sent, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. Maybe it's possible she doesn't know. It's possible that's the truth. You did find some ruins that were too old to be here. You also found a jar with a talking man. So there's some weird shit on this island.
Yes, definitely isn't like Kansas anymore.
They could be pulling in America
of us
and
were in
say they
Kansas.
just moved.
The only other thing is that is really well known is that they were brought together by the King Cyrax. That's kind of the other real point. It's like this place didn't used to be as orderly as it was, is most of what you gather.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
If there's anything else, you are sort of led down into the archives, and are sort of like you are presented with a single stone. Return this to a little box at the entrance when you are done. If you have queries, simply speak it into the stone, and someone will respond. Please, if anything is removed, please place it onto a cart. Do not attempt to put it back yourself. All lights in here are magical. There will be no flames, as you can understand.
Of course.
Good luck with the papers and the crystals for whatever it is you need to do. And she just sort of walks off.
Right,
her job wasn't so much to supervise you here, but to make sure you didn't wander into a different part of the government buildings. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go walk into the Pentagon now.
Hey,
Alright,
is that JFK?
Yep.
I'm gonna call out it. Thank you. As she's leaving.
I'm gonna go back to her nap or whatever it is she does.
All right, I am going to. Robin is going to turn around and go. All righty, let's get started. And is going to go. Obviously, there are not computers here. Holy crap! How do people search index before computers?
The index books.
Rock.
You would literally have to go through the
There's
index.
literally a filing cabinet with a list of things that says A, B, C, D, E,
Yeah.
F, G.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if there would be like a filing cabinet or if there's like books that you take out to look through. All right, so I'm going to go to the filing cabinet. Is anything like magical about it, or do I just old-fashioned look through stuff?
So there is a sort of a scroll that's just sort of been left open and dangling. There's no bottom part to roll it in on. It's just sort of the paper's just dangling in there. It seems to have been placed for some sort of inventory-like purpose. It is, however, blank.
Alrighty. Well, I'm just going to attempt magic. Right. I'm going to pick up the scroll, face it, and say, show me all documents related to water systems in the Kalchek forest.
The scroll takes takes a moment, and you kind of hold your breath, like I just talked to a roll of toilet paper, didn't I?
I really hope I didn't do that.
And then there's sort of a ding, 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 almost little flicker of light bouncing off of each corner of the various just honeycomb stacks of scrolls and books. And you can see now lit up are highlighted two different sets of words across these dozens and dozens of stacks, just sort of going back. Everything that says Kalchek, all the shelves that have that written on them are now glowing, sort of this orangish glow, and everything that is related to water management, which isn't nearly as much, probably because it's hard to do, is there's also water management is highlighted, sort of doing that faint glow.
Okay, are they cross-checked or are they just different things highlighted?
It does not appear to be cross-checked, unfortunately. It seems to be the way this system works is it will tell you wherever a word appears.
Okay.
on the sorting system. So if you're looking for Cal checked, everything that says every filing sort of like wall of documents that is labeled as being a part of Cal checked is glows.
So there's not like a magical index. It's just telling me that they're there.
It's just
so
it's just telling me that like shelf 203 is Cal checked. Is basically what it's telling you. Is it tells you which shelf has it relates to the subject you are looking for.
I can't get like a descriptive inventory. Okay, got it.
It's sort of like you gather you're probably gonna have to dig through the archives.
Yay! Okay, and then I'm going to hold up the scroll and be like, oh, can I also have documents related to the city of Line? Because that's also what we were looking at.
City of Line. Line now lights up as well.
Okay.
Several more stacks near. This place is, as you see some of the lights go off, some of them are a little distant. You can kind of see like, there's a little yellow like crystal at the top of them that kind of lets you guide yourself to them from afar. And then you can see when you get there which word is highlighted.
Okay. I'm gonna look around. Is there any like parchment and ink or anything? Or maybe parchment and like graphite?
None around you immediately, no.
None. Okay.
Place is very large. You gather this is meant for like research and reading rather than it is for like, writing things down and new stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I have any I'm a wizard. I feel like I would have parchments and like a quill on me.
You probably do at some point. It's easy enough to just say you write something down.
Cool. All right, we're gonna do that. I have a scholar's pack. Of course I do.
You have a scholar's pack. Like, also, unless it's like the ink and paper for like, I want to record this spell scroll, I'm not gonna make you pay for it.
Okay, cool. I just try to follow rules. All right.
It's good, yeah. Yeah. Just like how I don't make Aaron roleplay eating breakfast every morning.
Which I really think you should. I think you should torture him for that.
So I'm going to Robin is going to turn to Rockchild and Gareth and go, "What? We're gonna get started. It's gonna be a long day. Let's go grab all these materials and cross-check and reference them for anything that we can find in mysterious appearances in the Calchek forest, any waterways and disturbances. It's going to be a lot of reading. Then, they're just kind of going to direct a little bit so that we can get through these documents. Do I roleplay like an investigation?
So question, Robin.
Yeah,
what
go ahead.
Language are all the documents in? Because I'm only literate in a couple of languages.
Well, Rockchild, I obviously do not know that because I have not looked at the documents yet.
No,
but I think we'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah. So you might do some searching. So mechanically, how this is going to work is you guys can tell me a term you would like to have looked at, and then you can roll a investigation or a history check to sort of search through and read whatever's in that section.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So far the words line, calchecked, and water systems have been selected.
I don't know if you remember from last session what I wanted to research.
You want to kobolds?
Yeah, the kobolds, the history of
Kobolds.
Yeah. If you'd like to, you can tell kobolds. You can tell the scroll kobolds, and kobolds will light up.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. I'll hold the scroll out and I'll be like, "Can you also show me anything related to kobolds?" And then I'm gonna put the scroll down and be like, "All right, now we're gonna go look at everything."
All right,
I had a thing too I wanted to look for.
What do you want to look for?
All right.
Religion and heresy.
All right, I pick the scroll back up. I open the scroll. Also, can you show me anything related to religion and heresy?
42,000
assume-
relevant articles located.
Thing. Now I put the scroll down. Hey, not
Let's
going to
see.
go look at everything.
All right, hang on, just 1 second.
I feel like we just like
Oh.
made the work 10 times
right.
crazier.
I just imagine it's a Google search with like 400,000 pages you could click through.
All right,
All right,
pick a word.
so
Pick a word.
Kobold.
Everyone pick a word and give me a roll.
okay. I'm going to do Cal check.
All right.
And I will do history. I got a 17.
All right.
I'll do heresy. I'll do an investigation check.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Flat 17 too.
All right. So we got
Nice.
so we got 17 for heresy, 17 for Cal checked, and Justin, what did we have for Rockchild? Now one for
What did
Kobold.
you have to say what you picked?
I went for Kobold, so
Negative.
Nat one.
Nat 1.
All right. So
That's great.
Robin, you
Yes.
got a 17 to research Cal checked. There are quite a few document files for Cal checked. Most of it, your wizardly brain is quickly able to dismiss as like, annual records, things about rainfall, who the premier, which premier was elected, things like that. Just basic record keeping is a lot of it. However, there's just sort of a lot of that like sort of basic record keeping. A lot of it kind of relates to line a lot of the times, and issues between line and the four covens in the forest, and traces of their activities and things. However, with your 17, you kind of dig around a little bit and sort of behind some other scrolls and things, you come across a blue crystal about maybe twice the size of a human head. It's oddly
Okay.
shaped, and it's just sitting there, and it's the strangest thing. Most of the information is irrelevant, but you do find this blue crystal back there.
Can I investigate the blue crystal?
It's right in front of you. Do you do anything with it? You can like look it over. It's just sort
Yeah,
of like, I'm basically telling you, like, most of it is just basic record keeping
okay.
that isn't very useful, but there is this weird crystal thing.
Okay, hold on. That is not how you spell that.
So is it too late to admit that I'm illiterate?
You can just make that part of the role to work it into your character. You're illiterate, you can't understand this stuff. I am going to investigate the blue crystal. I'm gonna look it over, maybe do an arcana check over it to see why this might be important enough to be in the archives.
Yeah, sure, go for it. 'Cause, like, it doesn't appear to contain any information.
Okay, do you want me to roll investigation first or arcana first?
I say roll arcana. Probably
Okay.
be easiest, because like you've already found the thing.
That is
we-
fair. 21.
You are very excited because you see it and you look at it, and it dawns on you that what this is. This is a memory node. You can a person can pick one up, and wielding it, they can sort of relive the direct recollections of another individual.
Yes.
You
How
could
do I
se-
do this?
You
I
could
am
send
gonna
people
do
on a
this.
trauma trip.
Yeah.
Great. That's what we're really thinking.
There, with your 21, you do know that that they were banned in your home society on account of several instances of people poisoning these things with, basically recollections of like PTSD. and then basically swapping the crystal out for one that had a very traumatic event, and then the user's mind being unprepared, getting blasted with severe psychic damage and killing them.
So don't make my own memory node, is what you're saying.
You
Got
could
it.
make a trauma bomb, quite literally a trauma bomb.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
trauma dump on anyone who wields it.
The user chooses what memories go into it.
Mhm.
People can tamper with them, but usually it's whatever memory, whatever experience you choose goes into it. The fresher the memory is, the clearer it becomes. You can also add to it more later, you record one, it can be like basically a living diary of your life.
Yeah, that is awesome. I am
The
going to
memory
be
the memory crystal of the wimpy kid.
No. The memory
I love how you
no.
I love how you guys have like that thing, and the first thing I'm thinking of is memory. It's so easy to leave. Like that's if Cats the Musical existed in this world, that is exactly what Robin would be singing right now. Can I roll to make that real? We made North Korea real in the last campaign.
You what?
Yeah, that was.
We are not revisiting. We are not revisiting the things that you did last time.
You
I'm
did
just
it.
saying.
You made it real.
I'm just saying, if we can make a whole country real, can we not just make the Cats
I get
musical
shouted
real?
down for having French craftsmanship on chairs. Okay, I'm not inventing musical. So the musical Cats exist, but it has only ever been performed by the Cats of Holding.
Yes.
I would like
interesting
that
the main character.
Robin knows this as the performance happened in the Feywild, and they were
Yes.
able to see it.
Yeah, it's just what do you do with the crystal?
Okay, I am going to attempt to use the crystal and relive these recollections.
All right, Robin is going to pick up the crystal, and we're going to get into what goes in that crystal in just a second because we've got other rolls to resolve. Garrett, you rolled a 17 to investigate heresy, I believe. With that 17, most of the documents you come across are standard dry theological treatises on the nature of sin and on, some comparative works regarding how what one religion views as extremely taboo is not so considered by another religion. Things like that, as most of the stuff is just, academic scholarly work on the nature of heresy. As you begin to gather steadily that they probably wouldn't publish and post their own works antithetical to their own theocracy too much down here. However, with your 17, under heresy, you come across a small written work, maybe a few dozen pages, kind of tucked away, written by a man whose name you recently heard, Chauvin the Cruel. There is a small treatise called the Anti-Eldrian, where he sort of, as as you gather, there's been several generations crossing the astral sea to get to Venzor at this time. This is post arrival. He sort of goes out on a limb and more or less to commit political suicide at this point. I'm freezing, guys. Sorry. To basically argue that the gods may not that the people of Venzor don't really need them, that maybe these gods aren't as benevolent or as necessary as people believe, and that a lot of the reverence we have comes from basically being trapped on a boat at the mercy of their whims and protection. Basically, he accuses the Ascendant Nine of committing Stockholm Syndrome against the entire population of Venzor.
We rescued you. You are safe here.
Wait a minute.
Like Beauty and the Beast style Stockholm
I'm
Syndrome.
thinking
Wait,
Doctor Who
hold
when
on.
they lived on the ship.
No, I'm thinking of the Gnostics, the Gnosticism where like apparently Old Testament God is the bad God, and we've all just been we've all been tricked to thinking that the evil God is actually the good God of our realm, but the actual good God exists in another realm. That kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah. Basically, his two main arguments against the gods is that number one, they were people once. They continue to behave and act like people, meaning that if people are selfish, flawed, and fallible, so too are these gods that we are, basically following blindly. Number two is that these gods were once people, and they achieved immortality. Yet the rest of us are forced to suffer and die from disease, from hunger, from conflicts, from just the ravages of old age. These people are youthful and immortal, and they have declined to share that secret with anyone. And it's and so basically he accuses them of forging their own personal empire.
So what's the history of the name with the name of it? Like, is there any connection there?
It is the anti-Eldrian the anti-Eldrian Eldris is the god of chaos and considered the most selfish of all the gods. Thus made a perfectly good target for him to fire. If he was going to shoot at any one of the 9, Eldris is the most motivated by himself as the god of chaos. Also, it is
his name.
It is believed by a number of scholars that sort of in that order that the statues were in the temple is the order in which the gods came together. You notice Eldris is immediately to the left of the entrance, meaning he was the first one, which can be kind of a doozy.
The contradiction of a man.
Yeah.
The duality.
Yeah. But basically, that's the whole thing in Paris. Under kobolds, there is biological references to their eating habits, their general societies. There's some very basic references. However, you don't really get a chance to explore that because you kind of take your foot up on one of the notches to kind of reach for some of that stuff, and you all are interrupted by the shelf coming crashing down on him.
Oh, come on.
You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
7 points?
Yeah, I rolled really high. It was 1d8 plus 0.
You couldn't just let me be illiterate? Get to the scroll, finally look down and go, oh, I can't read.
Yeah.
No,
that
Robin,
one means you take damage. I'm sorry, that's just the rule.
Robin, you hear a thunderous crash, but before you can turn your head to look away, you feel almost like you are pulled into the crystal. What is visibly happening to anyone looking in on the outside is basically Robin is just staring with a 1,000-yard stare into this big blue gem, and it is swirling sort of like misty quartz on the inside, which it wasn't doing before. Robin, what you feel?
And I just have Rune just on the top of my head, just tittering.
What you feel happen is you feel yourself pulled into the crystal as if the crystal has now enveloped you and pulled out. You, Robin, now stand well over 6 feet tall.
Living the high life, literally.
You are slender. You are not very heavily dressed. You can feel horns on your head and hooves on your feet.
Yes. I'm a crop top goth goddess.
Yep. You have a memory crystal of Mother Ethel. The forest is thick and dark around you. And as you step forward, the branches of the trees curl away from you and part. And after a few moments, you step out into a blindingly sunlit clearing. There is what would have been once a massive tree at the center of this. Now a stumped, maybe a stump about 12, 18 feet across.
Damn.
You approach
Question.
this. Yeah.
Can I understand the thoughts within her memories or just like what's happening around her?
You are basically witnessing their perceptions. You might gather at most you'll gather a sort of empathic emotional state, sort of how they perceived the event, but you will not gather any internal dialogue. The power of these gems is, only so much.
Okay, that's just something I wanted to clarify. You can continue.
You see three other individuals standing at sort of 90-degree angles on the stump.
Mm-hmm.
And you approach on the fourth. These are you can see them fairly clearly. These are the other these are the covenant these are the covenant mothers, basically. There are three other women. Each one is dressed very differently. One is a old human, long curled white hair, sort of raven head gold staff, completely blind and hunched over. Another one appears to be a small child in pigtails.
I know what you're doing. I love it.
This one is just unnaturally childlike and young, and is basically the little Salem witch girl.
Yes. The maiden, the mother, the crone.
Yep. And the third one is very elven looking, short, parted blonde hair. Her whole nature just glows with a false emanation. Just not even like fey unnatural beauty, but sort of like I'm something ugly, twisted, and dark, and I'm wearing the skin of something nice and fun, and it sort of gives this little echoing laughter as Ethel approaches, and you get the Ethel just ignores it,
like my mother,
just sort of a gritting teeth, like just you, just like shut up, you, like whatever's coming from this one, Ethel knows it's nothing good.
Yeah.
You see them gather. No words are spoken. For a solid minute, as they just sort of all stare each other down, and you get the strange sense that a vote is being taken. And one by one, the trees or the grass or the wind, something rolls behind each of the other three, and they just sort of, one by one, each one just sort of nods their head, and at last your head nods. There is darkness in our forests. You hear the voice coming from your own mouth. And it must remain contained. None must traverse here, and none must find what cruelty has brought forth. We are in accordance, and all is one. And then all three repeat, and all is one. So the four covens shall guard, four covens shall keep, from this day to the last day in all our posterity. And then there is a sharp sense of pain as you cut to the bone on your hand with a knife you didn't even realize you were holding. All the other three mothers do the same, and the blood floats and swirls and begins to form rings in the lines of this giant tree and spirals, and the blood just sort of overlaps to make this complex geometric spiral. And you are pushed from the tree as it reforms this fully grown massive tree. The waypoint is set. Let none who seek it traverse further. Let none who seek it traverse further. And the meeting is dissolved. There is another image, sort of an aftershock, almost like this is, almost like, like an earthquake, just something extra jiggled in there at the last second.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of glance back at the tree, and you can sort of feel a little brief flash, a hole in the ground, and black water rising, almost as a geyser, coming forth, like just bursting apart the tree from within. And there's one last words. So it is never enough. And you are brought back to reality, as I presume Gareth is unwedging Rockchild from the wall.
Oh, back to reality. Oh, the humanity. Oh, the gravity.
Robin, you have returned to us.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna just take a moment to take it in. I'm going to set the crystal back where I found it, because I assume I haven't moved from.
No, you have not moved. It just sort of, it feels weird seeing things at your height. Like you almost feel like you remember reaching down to put this thing down, and now you kind of got to reach up a little bit, and it just feels wrong. Like, was it this shelf? What it feels like it should, but there's no shelf there.
Yeah. So I'm kind of adjusting.
Yeah, to the sun
to
loft of about 4.5 feet.
Hey, I'm 2 feet tall, okay? Probably more
I believe Mother Ethel caps out at 7 something.
I thought you said 6 something.
No, sorry. Is she 6 something? I'm gonna have a bunch of lag trying to bring it back up, but I can check how tall I made her, because there is because she is taller than the Dragonborn, who is beefy as all frick.
I could be wrong.
Wrong too.
But okay. I'm going to go walk over to where I heard the crash.
Just trying to pull Rockchild out.
I'm gonna kind of lean over into the hallway and be like, so I kind of thought this went without saying, but don't break anything here. Also, I think I found something rather important.
Don't worry, the only thing I broke was my arm. So I'm just pinned.
Okay. Robin's just like, all right, this is par for the course.
Wait, is it the arm I'm pulling on?
Probably, yeah.
That would be hilarious. And Robin is going to come up and very quickly, and a very a bit overwhelmed state, talking about what they found. And they're going to be talking very quickly, being like, so I found this what is it? So I found this memory node, and so this allows you to relive recollections of a certain person. And when I found it was actually the Mother Ethel, and that there was all these coven heads, and then she's or they're just gonna go like really, really quickly, and trying to explain what they found while searching for Kelchek, and then when they finish, they're gonna like halt, stop very quickly, and just stare at you, being like, "Yes, you got all of that, right? What do we think?"
Who gave the child coffee again?
I have not had any coffee today, I believe. And they're very like succinctly talking.
Right. Repeat that again after we get him out.
Well, you still stuck.
Yes.
It's easy enough to free him. Just free him. I'm not gonna make you roll to pull him out of the mess he's made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My arm just tears it off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start grabbing books to put on the carts so that the shelf can be refixed, and I'm going to go into the stone. I'm gonna pull the stone out and go. So, one of my companions accidentally broke a shelf. I don't think any documents were destroyed, but could you send someone to fix that? So
And the
sorry. And then I'm
alarm.
gonna put the rock back in my pocket and be like, hopefully someone's coming.
Clean up in
Comes the
aisle
reply.
4.
Breaker.
Breaker Baker, the fuck did you just say?
Yeah.
Grocery
please,
to aisle
yeah.
3, please. Grocery to aisle 3.
Yeah.
But
Man,
I
assistance
am going
required.
to reiterate what I said, slightly slower but still fast talking, as I'm like gesturing for you to come along with me, so that I can sit down at one of the desks or reading areas and write down everything that just happened, so that I have it on paper.
Mhm.
Okay, so who is Mother Ethel again?
She.
Do you
is...
remember the stone? Oh wait, are you asking Robin or are
Yeah,
you
I'm asking
asking the
Robin.
DM? Okay.
That's what I was
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. So Robin is going to go. Do you not remember? We walked in. There was a host statue. She was the one with like the horns, and she looked really cool. And she was the druid, and she helped to like form the covens, and she was in charge of the forest. You know, her being.
Oh, pretty
And
goat
up
lady.
there was, you know, the forest were tamed by Ebony, all of that shit. And so they're like writing this as they're expecting. You should know this by now. Da, 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 da.
Oh, the pretty goat lady. Got it.
Well, yeah, the pretty goat lady. I was her in these recollections, and like
You were the
Robin
pretty
is just
goat
like
lady?
You mean the
incredibly
bad
excited and trying to like geek out over this really cool like magical tool, but also this like history and actual like information that we're learning.
Where's the crystal? I want to go touch it.
No.
Try licking it.
I want to touch the crystal.
Out, no.
Touch.
You don't know where it is though. So write down, and then Robin's gonna be like, so the really important thing that we need to understand is that the blackening was already in the water when Mother Ethel was traversing the forest. She already do I know if these coven heads were like the founding coven heads? Or are they just the coven heads in general?
You know they are the coven heads. You know that Mother Ethel is credited with founding the four four covens of that form, you know, sort of the covenant, you know. So if she's the one who found, these are probably people she brought together as, you know, as like, you know, we are the most powerful druids of the land. We shall rule this forest, or, you know, something like that.
Okay.
However they happen to work.
Okay.
It's just like, you know, these are the people, you know, Mother Ethel founded the covens.
Okay, so they're just gonna go off on the basis that like this happened like early in Mother Ethel's career, and so these are the original heads of the covens. Okay, so Robin's going to say, so the blackening had already gotten into the water, and so she worked with the coven heads to try and seal it, but it didn't work. literally the last scene that I saw was a hole in the ground where this like waypoint was supposed to be, and just like a geyser of the blackening water just came out. And she said, well, it'll never be enough, kind of thing. And so I think that the reason there's been such discontent between the covens and Line is probably because the covens this whole time have been working to keep the blackening contained to the Kalchak forest, but has not really communicated this to the rest of the island. So I think that's really where we need to go after this if we are going to attempt to learn more and have any chance of stopping this crisis. I'm still going to look through other things. Obviously, I've only checked Calcheck. I haven't checked Waterways or Line. But I think this is just an incredible breakthrough in our research. And then it's gonna like make eye contact and check with you guys that you have followed them through this like entire rant.
I'm just gonna stop and like just go, so the blackening's always been here, and just reiterate the one point.
The witches. We gotta go to the witches.
Yes. I guess that is a succinct way of putting it.
Also, where's Torin? We need to talk to John.
I think we accidentally left him at the church. He is a cleric.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was communing with his god right before we. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
You can
But we can find him
any way you want. He's gonna appear next session.
Exactly. As long as we get out of the archives, it'll be fine. It'll make cohesive sense in the storyline. But we don't need to focus on that right now. We need to focus on the information that we've got. We've got this. We don't need Torin's help to control the chaos that is all of us and complete this mission. And as Robin talks, they're just more aware that they actually do need Torin there.
Touch the crystal.
Also, Robin, would you mind helping me look for kobolds? I messed up, and I'll look at the stack of fallen books.
Yeah, Robin
just
is
all been
going
like
to
shoved
look
onto a
towards
cart.
the absolute mess. And
Just a disgruntled intern has entered and is slowly stacking the books on the cart.
Some poor grad student who's working there to get through school.
Yeah. Rockchild, I will help you after we complete the mission of research that we were given and being paid to do. But I don't know how well that's going to go. So it's like, I promise you tentatively, but we need to get other stuff done first.
I want to go for religion.
Okay, yep. And then I will go with Waterways after this, after he does religion.
All right.
And I want to try for kobolds again, if that's okay.
All right, you can try for kobolds again. All right. So first roll is Gareth.
2.
2? Is that a 1? Is that a nat 1 turning into a 2?
No, it's a 2.
It's just a
I get
straight
plus
2.
0. Yeah, I get plus 0 to intelligence.
All right. You can't find after the crash, like the system just doesn't seem to go back the way it should, and you just get lost wandering the stacks trying to find your way around. You do not find anything on religion. You know it's in here. You just can't find any of it.
I can't find religion. Oh no.
Yeah. All right.
History to look at waterways.
Water systems. All right.
Waterways, water systems, you know what I mean.
So you are cutting through a lot of stuff here with drainage, sewage, piping, fresh water, aqueducts, springs, wells, all sorts of, there's a myriad of systems that people use to get water on this island. You're able to just go, not what I need, not what I need. You're looking for the natural rivers and other such things. You get into some of that, the rivers, the reservoirs. You spend, another hour or so looking through it all, until you find something that is very interesting, useful to you. So It's a discussion of the moon and tides on Venzor. There is no moon of Venzor. However, Venzor still experiences periodic tides. There are no waves, which require the moon's tug and pull to cause. However, a systematic survey of the Bay of Black has shown that its water level periodically, and for unknown reasons, dips and rises in approximately 16-hour intervals. These dips and rises are at times accompanied with increased flow from various well springs, such as those in the Ardine and others within the Calchecked Forest. There is a note in there dissuading the rumor that if you cap a well, you can cause it to burst like a rocket after a period of several weeks. This does not appear to be true. Basically, the water builds up, and then pressure.
Rocket! Boom.
This does not appear to be what happens.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah, it's like it theorizes that there is, in fact, a connected set of reservoirs under the island of Venzor that share at certain points a sort of brackish waterway back into the bay and the sea. That, basically at least part of the freshwater system on Venzor is directly connected to the saltwater one.
Brackish, you say?
Yeah, somewhere underground. Yep.
In the secret tunnels.
Connective reservoir under Venzor that shares what? Sorry, I'm like trying to type and keep up.
So yeah, the reservoir there's a series of tunnels and reservoirs under Venzor that connect at some point with the sea, with the Bay of Black, with the surrounding bit of ocean that this plane has. Something is there's, because when the Bay of Black rises, a number of well springs seem to increase their water table as well.
Okay.
You got it's a very connected system, and the two places that this happens most clearly, the three places are the Ardine, the Bay of Black, and Calchecked. Because you're measuring the bay.
Mm-hmm.
That is what you gather with that 21, which is pretty useful. It's pretty clearly laying out like how these things work and the timetable they're on. Doesn't know where the tunnels are, but it does lay out it theorizes the existence of tunnels. It's the hollow Venzor theory.
No.
That was so collective that I feel a little left out.
I do things to hurt people, and hurt people I do.
But he does it in the most
cringe,
creative ways.
Okay.
Just took 1d4 psychic damage from that.
Justin, did you roll for
Not
kobolds
yet.
again?
Yeah, Justin.
How's a 10? Does a 10 do any better? Please give me something.
So, Justin, Rockchild is wandering through the various stacks, and things are been put out of order in most of the kobold section thanks to your previous antics. However, something odd does catch your eye. There's a bit of sort of white light emanating from like around the corner of one of the stacks. It's very brief.
Mm-hmm.
And shortly after that, you hear scraping of maybe claws, maybe metal against either stone or more metal. And there is a small figure sort of steps round the darkness, just barely passing through your sight.
Can I go talk to it? Can I go engage it, see what it was?
Sure. Do you follow the mysterious figure?
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
After a few minutes of weaving between stacks, you come to a series of tables and benches, probably a designated reading area deep within, was probably, a good square mile of an archive.
Oh man, so I really wandered off.
You've only walked for a few minutes. Like you're not, you didn't spend 20 minutes walking to the other side of the entire building.
Yeah.
Sitting, half leaning, half sitting on one of the tables, is a snub-nosed, rhinoceros-horned, gray-skinned female kobold in heavy armor, the sigils on which have been burned out. There's a mace tied to her hip and a large teardrop shield that's almost too big for her, but not quite. Just sort of leaning against her side. She's just sitting there, like eating an olive off a sandwich.
So, how should I approach this? Like, can I just kind of like quietly, but not too secretively, like walk out and go, "Hello, hi, how's it going?"
She kind of turns and looks at you, just sort of shrugs. You should know, he doesn't answer. It's his one redeeming quality.
Wait, who doesn't answer? Oh no!
She just sort of finishes the olive. Was almost a good sandwich, and just flips it away and just sort of vanishes in a bit of arcane light. Just goes, one of the gods you offered to. I believe he calls himself. She just sort of rolls her eyes. Eldris.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't answer. Which, for better or worse, leaves me to pick up the call.
Oh, are you his emissary?
I was.
Oh no!
A long time ago. Lifetimes ago, if I'm being honest. You seem not typical.
What do you mean by that?
We're young as gods go. That much is given, but I don't know. You don't really feel like the usual partitioner of that madman.
Well, I
What
actually
did you want again?
I had a few questions. Trying to understand more. Well, I guess I'll just come out with it. I don't know much about the kobolds, but I do know my family, my people, and I'll kind of like shudder at going back thinking about it, like, and just my people were slaughtered by a horde of kobolds, and they were some religious fanatics, and I need to know more. Are and then I'll like start off asking questions before stopping myself, like, are all kobold? And then I'll stop because I'm like, wait, no, I shouldn't ask that.
No one thing is all of a thing. She kind of seems a little withdrawn. She just, like there's sort of like a moment where like she's just deciding what the hell she wants to say about this.
Oh no.
And she just sort of looks at you and goes, many peoples do many things, some for good, some for ill. But I have not heard of kobold horde on the slaughter, not any sort of particular zealotry in almost 1,000 years. Not since before Tiamat.
Wait. Now, I don't know if you want me to roll a history of this, but with Neskir being my mentor, would I have heard stories of this?
You can roll history or religion.
Either way, it's a crapshoot for me, so I'm gonna go for it. I'll take a 16. I'll gladly take a 16.
16. As she moves, some of the cloth on like over her armor, the colors, which again has the sigil burned out, begins to ripple a little bit, just from the natural movement. And it's the same pattern of cloth as this takes you back right almost immediately. It's the same design, same like sort of colored scheme as was on the banners that flew against your family. The emblem has been seared out, but it's very, very similar as she moves and does begin to speak. You stand before Meritites, sainted goddess of oaths, antithesis and servant of the ascended god Eldris. It's first and most betrayed. Or the first and most betrayed.
Damn. The crest, the sigil that was on your arm.
Yeah, on her armor, yeah.
And I'll point to like the burnt out point, and like that sigil. Was that his?
A millennia ago once, it was. Back then he was different.
Can I just like crumple to the ground when I realize she's wearing the uniform of my attackers?
Yeah.
You're one of them. You're one of them.
You're one of them kobolds.
Many things have happened. How old are you?
I'm. Oh God, I hope I wrote this down somewhere. I'm but 26 years old. I'm not that old, but
and yet the war whose banner you fear was fought 1106 years ago. 1106 years since the god Eldris fell into the pits of hell before Tiamat. 1106 years of clawing my way back.
That's impossible. I only was in the Witchlight Carnival for maybe 10 years. I mean, Neskir and we...
Is he with you?
No, I haven't seen him in, God, what feels like a lifetime ago.
What else feels like a lifetime? Or more? I'm certain many things do. How horrifically curious you are.
I don't... How am I alive?
That is a rather strange question. She kind of leans in and looks, kind of like leans in and looks at you. Like, there's almost, there's a bit of connection there. This is a very vigilant creature, but it is also, like it seems to not really have any powerful intent.
So it's just intrigued by me.
Yeah, it's quite it's intrigued by you, and it's just sort of it's very curious, but it is the goddess of oaths.
Oh.
I don't know what you are. I don't know how you have stolen his old trick. Perhaps you haven't. I don't know.
What old trick?
What I can do. What I can, and she sort of like turns her head and just sort of looks off to the side, like almost like something's coming.
Yeah.
What I can do, will do, is I can't guarantee your quest for knowledge. I can't guarantee your help. I can't guarantee any help for you. But what I will do, because you are in service to the cruel, is enact what I was meant to do. Uphold the oaths broken. So I will give you this secret. Do not trust to the servants of Malele. You have brought darkness into their house, and passion is fervent, as your family and mine all too well knew.
Okay, you're gonna have to like break that down for me.
not just in game.
Yeah, like out of game.
All right. So she said, "I am the goddess of oaths.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee your quest for knowledge, but because you are in some sort of broken arrangements, in search of something cruel, she will do what she is meant to do, which is be the keeper of oaths. And so she is going to grant you some protection with a warning. This warning is, do not trust to the servants of Malele, for you have brought a darkness into their house, and passion is fervent, because Malele is the goddess of passion, as both your family and mine well know. A reference to the kobolds that she presumably was with when your family was met with complete and utter zealous monstrosity.
Mm-hmm.
You may recall from last session that the warlock of Malele attempted and partially succeeded in curing you.
Oh, so I shouldn't trust them, that they're not best intentioned.
Well, she's saying don't trust them. You brought darkness into their house and they're very passionate.
Oh. If they've probably sensed the blackening in you.
Oh.
And are freaking out because you shared it with one of their warlocks.
And now
they are very, and the gossip passion is very fervent, and you've seen what divine fervor does to people.
Oh,
so you committed an act of heresy. Congratulations!
Yay!
Yeah.
Well, and Meritites, are kobolds still to be feared? Are they still ruthless and warmongering as I look at the maze?
Kind of, she sort of just, looks back from like whatever hall she's staring down, seeing whatever she's seeing. Lexi goes, "We never were. We had something. He gave us something. we didn't have in a long, long time. Hope. But all he asked in return was undying loyalty.
God, you make him sound like such a horrible leader.
Gee, maybe because
Was
he
he
was.
not?
And in the end, that loyalty was betrayed.
Ugh.
I'm a god forged in the depths of the 9 hells, darkest of the sainted, and yet the least cruel.
Whoa, that's a bombshell.
That's
that-
intense.
that is how Meritides considers herself. Compared to some of the others around her, she's got something of a point.
Wow, so they've become the least cruel of the Ascendant. That's interesting.
Well, no, she's the least cruel of the sainted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of all this, she
Difference.
she is the only god in the entire pantheon born in the 9 hells.
Mm.
However, of the sainted, she is the least cruel.
Well, yeah, she has to contend with Eldris.
Now, can I make an oath to her? And I don't know what I'd make the oath of, though. Does she have any stakes in our journey?
Well, the Black Avenue does destroy everything.
Like,
so-
I make it my oath that we will try and find a fix for this curse upon me.
I don't know how much of that's an oath to her.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Because
just
you're
thinking,
like, this curse upon me is a little bit self-centered. But to say that you,
Yeah.
like, make an oath to purge this darkness from Venzor, so that no one else has to,
that's also
suffer
just
the
a big
touch.
oath, and I feel like it might trigger her. Remember last time someone made a big promise to her? She got damned to hell. I don't want to make that mistake twice.
Well, we're already on the journey. We've already, like, told people we're gonna attempt this. You can make a heartfelt, like, oath that you will do everything within your capabilities.
To prevent it from
to-
spreading to more innocent
Yeah.
souls.
Yeah, to purge this land of the darkness, so that no one else may suffer the touch of the.
We will try to
The
fix what
Black
people
Death.
have failed before us.
Sure.
Because, like,
That's
if she's one of the, like, nicest and kindest, I definitely would want her as an ally.
She said least cruel.
Okay,
and I feel
but,
like those are two different things. But go ahead.
least cruel to me sounds like friendly.
Yeah.
Plus, she's already
Yeah,
answered my
but-
question. I know Eldris's fucking horde killed my family, so now I gotta kill him.
Keep in mind, she is competing with the god of vengeance, the god of beasts, the goddess of secrets, the goddess of passion, the god of exchange, the goddess of competition.
I feel like the goddess of
Yeah.
competition and exchange have like competing marketplaces, like all the mattress firms.
One's the athletes, the other's the people betting.
Oh no.
There you go.
Well, Meritides, I truly am appreciative of you responding to my call, even if the Ascendant could not find the time. Since she opened with saying that he couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, he never answers, dear.
Well,
Yeah.
since he
This
did
is
not
one
respond.
this is one redeeming quality.
I love when she said that because I was like, I agree.
Hey, no, there's some good things he did. Not many, but some.
Listen, I so much pent up frustration from Eldris. The antithesis to my being.
It was
Um,
literally the antithesis.
Yes. The amount of times that I was just so incredibly frustrated. I'm having war flashbacks.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's fine. Really quick though, since it is 10, Can I do a check for line in the archives before we leave?
Yes, you can do a check for line in the archive, sure. We will 9. Unfortunately, the city of Line consists once again of simple ledgers, the opening of the mine, the logging rights, the cost of shipments, requests for, dealing with various small-time banditry, census reports. It's just the dullest, most useless stuff ever. As this is, you gather, at least a mile-large complex designed to house all the records of this highly bureaucratic system for the last 2.5 centuries.
Weirdly enough, one of the documents you find is a complaint about the quality of copper received during a transaction.
I was doing so well.
God damn it.
I do like that 9 rhymes with line, though. I got a 9 for
Yeah.
line. Like that.
Got 9 for line.
9 for line
And,
when I'm eating my lime Skittles.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I will make while they're doing other stuff, or searching or wandering, I'm going to make a comprehensive list and summary of what we found while at the archives. A quite detailed one, referencing the documents that I found, with their title and number and where they the shelf that I got them, and then referencing the crystal, like very detailed researchy report that you would expect from someone of Robin's background.
Yeah, you can take you can take your time doing that, and if you guys want, we can wrap there because we have been playing for almost 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
that's gonna be it, internet people. Welcome to the research episode. I feel like discussing the name before we jump off here. Just because I feel like that'd be a fun thing to do for people who watch. Maybe some of the comments will have good names. So I'm thinking for tonight's episode, it might be fun to call it Robin and the Crystal of Memory.
Oh no.
Da 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 da. Make Justin cry for his profession.
Every night I hate it. My career's in ruins. What do you mean?
I like that, but I do like that we've had quite a bit of alliteration in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
something like I don't know, something to do with like
Archives,
research.
accidents, ascended. Like, comma, comma, comma.
Maybe.
Oh, I like that
We
one.
were in the
I was gonna
archives?
do like Robin's research or recollections and research or something like that, but I like that one.
Oh no, wait! I want to do a Top Gear. Reference. Tonight on D&D Gear, Robin Goat becomes tall, Rock meets a god, and Gareth discovers heresy.
No.
That's a good impression.
All
All
right.
right. I'm gonna end the stream there.
Yeah.